And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Carolina won big on Thanksgiving Day last year. The Cowboys won revenge, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Dak finding the former Jag Hurns for the Dallas first down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 48.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And again, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll throw again. Prescott. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
And incomplete on the deep ball. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. He finds Hearns left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. To the air again, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Julius Peppers in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Set. 780.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Here we go, fellas. Hey, like 80. Gun.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 32 that time. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On 1st and 10, Newton eluding the pressure right. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Hey, 4 down. You're set. 780. Check. Hey.
On second down, McCaffrey. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
From
the gun, here's Newton. And he finds a man, it's Olsen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Here's Newton now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Now, that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage, knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times, and made a nice play.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go to Elliott again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out.
Here we go. 46. 26.
A first down throw for Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now, 46. Gun. 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott. This is caught by Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
46.
To throw is Prescott. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley from 8 yards out, and the Cowboys are in for 6.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
I like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
Point A, B, and C.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Anderson, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Newton now to throw. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Come on now. Three down. Hey, check. Ready. Ready.
Now Newton on first down. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Newton on first down. Airing it out for Olsen. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the half. Prescott got some room at the 30, and he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Come on now. That's it. Ready.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Austin. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points?
And break this tie. On 1st and 10, Prescott. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Vernon Butler busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. K1 short in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And Beasley with it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Newton. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Austin. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here come the Cowboys. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Right back to him on 1st down. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. And an Allen to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Luke Kuechly not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 46, 46. 46.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Prescott now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. This is McCaffrey on the give. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 3rd down, Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Here we go. Single receiver. Ready. You're set, ready.
On 1st down, Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there. Them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Come on now. Four down. Check. Set. 180. Next pass.
Out of the gun, Newton. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
Now Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taking it about the 36. Oh, nice move at midfield. Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Panthers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They'll run with McCaffrey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. Now Newton. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And the kick is good. Graham Gano connects as time expires. And the Panthers have won the football game. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did.